All right, now it's the party. We are joined by two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, Super Bowl champion, 12-year NFL veteran, Emmanuel Sanders. We're going to get to the football in a second, but see, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the last thing we need. Now,
Let's
you are
just
here.
put that aside so we can just focus.
You are here on behalf of Kicks World, correct? See, you got to understand something. I got specific instructions from my wife. If I buy another pair of sneakers, no marriage counseling, no trial separation, we're going straight for divorce. So what kind of trouble are you about to get me into?
These are the Union Fours, man. Man, I actually got a butler that I'm walking around with, got like 5 or 6 pair of shoes. But I'm here on behalf of Kicks World, KYX. But they just go by really Kicks, but it's KYX. But it's literally a brand that's pretty much renting out shoes, or you can purchase shoes, right? So say, for instance, you want to go, and you know how social media is going now. Everybody wants to take a picture, build a brand. But these days, man, these shoes costing a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, and even for me, like from a fashion standpoint, dude, I go out and spend like X amount of dollars on a Louis Vuitton jacket, post it on Instagram. I can't wear that no more.
Right.
Because my boys is like, bro, you still look like April 13th. 2021
That's a lot
with
of
that jacket
pressure.
on, because it's my same Instagram. So I just feel like Kicks World, man, it's a genius idea to be able to save some money, to be able to say, for instance, you have a movie premiere. My brother-in-law, Adam W., he has a movie premiere that we're going to tomorrow night. He's going to this movie premiere. He's on Getty Images wearing these shoes or wearing these clothes, and he can't wear them again, right? And even for me, like, I got probably over 200 pairs of shoes in my closet. And
Word?
yeah,
Well, wait a minute,
and for me, like, I probably wore those shoes 1 or 2 times, right? And I'm probably never gonna wear them again, because even though, like, Jordans kind of come back around, but some of these shoes, they like, man, that's last year's shoes. Like, that's not even in, you know.
But there's so many problems with that we need to unpack.
I mean, like,
We'll start with the number.
okay, 200. I was just talking to him. I was just talking before he comes in. Mike, man, come on, man. How many pairs of shoes you got? Man, tell me. He was like, oh, not as many as you would think.
Right.
But it's a lot.
Probably a couple of dozen, but it ain't
All right.
200.
But you're about 200, and I understand Kicks, great, genius idea, as you said, but you got 200 pairs of shoes. You only worn them. What's your shoe size?
10
like,
10 and a half.
I mean, come on, bro.
But, hey, yo, I'm about to get a brand. I'm about to get a brand with Kicks and start renting them out.
It's like Rent the Runway.
Yeah, it's pretty much rent the
it's
runway,
great.
right?
Yeah,
like,
that
even
is
if I wanted to
genius.
take my closet and rent out my closet, like, man, rent it out. I would literally rent out my closet just to try to get some of the money back, because I've spent a lot of money.
But what
on
kind of
shoes,
society do we live in, Emmanuel, where people are literally keeping score? Oh, wait, you wore those shoes last year.
Yeah.
Do you have these shoes that I have
But
telling me
the
that I
way of the
can't
world.
wear them
So you
again?
guys also think, like, we're not talking like 50-year-old. Yeah, it's really the 18 to 27
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram, want to get my brand popping, get my brand off the line, investing money in your brand to get your brand going, because everybody's trying to be creators,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
not only that, like, even from event, even if you're going on a date with a girl, or you may think that you like a pair of shoes and you want to try out them shoes,
go.
and you say, all right, I just want to try them out. Sure, I could just lease them out for a little bit. If I like them, then I purchase them. If I don't, then I don't. I'll just send them back.
Oh, I'm feeling that.
Yeah,
I'm sold. I'm
Man,
sold.
you got like two
That's
or
the
three. You
solution.
got 2 or 3 businesses going on here, man. You helping people out with dating advice. You got shoes. You got a lot of
I
things
like
going on.
it, yeah.
How did you get hooked up with Kicks? I mean, how did it start? What's the origin
they
story?
They pretty much reached out to my marketing agent, and they told me about it. But for me, like, I'm not gonna be up here kicking game with y'all on a brand that I don't believe in. But I believe in this because I know what it is.
You know the struggle.
Yeah, I base it off even from my clothes perspective. Like, me and my wife, we talk about all the time opening up like a store where we can rent out our clothes, because it's clothes that I'm not wearing. I'm talking like $5,000 Louis Vuitton jackets that I have just sitting in the closet, and it's like, it's old, but somebody will like be like, yo, like, I'll spend like $300, $200 to wear that jacket, man. Let me post.
Might be a little tight on me.
Let me go out.
You know, you got a better physique than I do. But,
I wear them oversized. You know what I mean?
All right.
But yeah, it's definitely a window of opportunity for it, man. And I think that just with this brand, I just feel like, you know, it's people out there that can definitely use it.
No, it definitely resonates with both of us. Another thing that resonates with us, and we're gonna go through your career journey if we have the time. But you've been around some incredible fan bases, from Pittsburgh to Denver to San Francisco to New Orleans to Buffalo. And Buffalo's really unique, and they have a very generous fan base. So after DT passed away, Marius Thomas passed away, I believe that they contributed to your foundation.
Yeah.
And then you flipped it and paid it back.
Yes,
I think
sir.
it was just a couple of days ago.
Yes, sir.
A game room at the Buffalo Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, sir.
So I guess, take it wherever you want, but just honoring DT's memory, but also the special relationship you were able to forge with that Buffalo fan base.
Yeah.
To where they felt connected enough with you
Man,
to
it
get
was
back in that time.
man, when DT passed away, man, I had spoke with him probably 2 weeks prior to that, and we spoke for about an hour on the phone. And DT was going through some stuff, but he was the type like low key, like didn't want nobody to know, like didn't want no sympathy. And I'm kind of the same way. Like I don't like sympathy. You know what I mean? And sometimes like playing football, like you get in that they kind of force you to be like that, and just dudes in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had spoke with him. But man, when I heard about his passing, man, it crushed me dearly because that was one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think the things that me and this dude accomplished as a receiver, as a duo.
Yeah.
Not too many receivers have accumulated over 3,000 yards in a single season. And not too many receivers have both been nominated to the Pro Bowl the same year. Yeah. Not too many receivers have done all that and got a Super Bowl ring out of it. And not too many receivers could come in the locker room and in 2014, they were feeding him. He would go to the offensive coordinator and say, you know what, I got 120 yards. Get E the ball.
Wow.
Get E the ball. Like, he's from the country, right? And I'm from the country. And he had the greatest heart, man. The greatest heart. I mean, people would tell me stories that he would do to her, and like one of my teammates walked over and said, man, DT gave me $10,000 a month and told me I ain't had to pay him back just to take care of my grandma.
Wow.
Man.
And one of my teammates on the Bills walked up and said, man, he said to D. I said, yeah, that's how he was. Like, he looked out for everybody. You know what I mean? And when it comes to kids, like, man, DT loved kids.
Yeah.
Like Peyton, all his kids. Like my son thought DT was his best friend. You know what I mean? Because that's how he was. He would always be at the Boys and Girls Club all the time, hanging out with the kids. And so, after he passed away, man, that hurt me dearly. And the next day I had to go to practice. I couldn't even go to practice, man. Really, I was contemplating retiring, man. It hurt me that bad. Like, because obviously, like, it was something going on, like CTE, I don't know. But when you around somebody every day and you seeing this, and then you see like the result of like what we doing as football players, like you start to see like it's real out here. You know what I mean? Like you can walk like a lot of cash. Yeah, you chasing it, but you also gotta know that you paying the price for that. You know what I mean? And it was kind of a wake up call for me. But as far as Bills Mafia, what they did, and knowing that I was hurting. Somebody had started on Twitter and started 1088, donating $10.88 to my foundation, and man, it raised up to like $6,000 to $8,000. And so me and my foundation, we started working on ways to kind of honor his name and leave a legacy in my friend's name. And they came up with the Boys and Girls Club and that mural, and we donated to, a pool table, gaming systems. We donated so much stuff to the Boys and Girls Club. And I know one thing, man, he'll be proud of that because he loved the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
The Boys and Girls Club in Denver, whenever his truck pulled up, all the kids knew it. They would literally run out of the building to his truck because they loved him that much, because he would just pop up over there just on a regular day.
Wow.
And that's what type of person he was. So to be able to do that for him and leave a mural like that in his legacy and keep his name alive, that was everything.
Bro, that's beautiful. I got one follow-up, and I'm sure Michael does as well. But I love to know, like, just going back to how you started, and you said, you're not one for sympathy, and he kept his problems to himself, and he wasn't one for sympathy either. Knowing that he was always there for everybody else, you know what I mean? But then he left, going through something that, not a lot of people maybe even knew about. How do you process those two things? That it just was somebody who was so giving and so generous, struggling, almost sounded like he was suffering in silence. So, yeah. Is that fair?
Yeah. So I mean, and that's why we talked on the phone hour, because one thing, like, he would tell me what he was going through, but he'd never tell me to the degree that he was going through.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I was just calling, we would just chop it up and just talk just about life in general. Because we could all sit up here and put on some facade like every day is a great day. But man, life is hard, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And as my brother, like, I would sit up here and tell him, like, man, I be going through stuff too.
Yeah.
And sometimes when fellas get together and we get to talking, and sometimes we think we be the only ones that be going through it, but we like, man, we all going through the same stuff. And it kind of like Antonio Brown came out with a word that said kumbaya. Kumbaya is sometimes gathering with the fellas and just talking. and understanding that, man, we all go through the same stuff. You know what I mean? But obviously he was going through some medical problems. But for me, like, I was just trying to be there for my boy and let him know that, yeah, like, man, like the anxiety, all that stuff, man, sometimes that's normal on certain days. You know what I mean? And I was just really just trying to give him like any type of encouragement that I could. I was trying my hardest.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what really crushed me, because I felt like I didn't do good enough, but really it didn't have anything to do with my words. Yeah. It was just a medical situation that he was dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, man, I just remember him telling me he was gonna try to make it out to a game. He called me probably like a week after we spoke for the hour. He said, I just wanna let you know, me and Andre, we gonna come out there. Because he wanted to come out there, but he wasn't even in the right shape to even come out. But I had a feeling that he wanted to come out to really, because DC, he knew something was going on. And I think that he wanted to see me because, like, me and him was like this. He wanted to see me before the situation had occurred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just a crazy situation, you know what I mean?
Man.
It's real crazy. And, man, I've experienced so much in my life, man, but all these situations really make me grow and understand that, man, tomorrow not promised.
Right.
And to love your people, appreciate your life, even through the hard times, understand that, man, hey, it's a bigger picture of it all, and just appreciate the now.
That's a word, man.
That is. You know, I told Mike yesterday when I saw, Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry come on and just say some words of encouragement. I said, that's my favorite piece of sound. That's my favorite visual of the week, the brotherhood, and the brotherhood that you're talking about with DT. And you played in a lot of places. What are are there other players that you've come across where you feel like you've had that connection? So if anything ever does happen, you say, I got somebody I can go to and talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have that with everybody. Diggs, me and Diggs, man, that's my boy. Like, you real, man, and we chopping it up, because in the receiver room, we spending a majority of the time together. We in meetings 4 or 5 hours a day. So we chopping it up. We getting to know each other. We vibing. We kumbaya. Even Diggs, like, I remember Diggs walked over to me one time. I was at practice, kind of after DT passed away. He walked over to me. He said, man, he said, this NFL crazy. He said, you going through a lot of stuff, but when you go in between these lines, man, you got to fake like everything all right just to go out and perform. You know what I mean? And that just goes to show what type of relationship me and him had, because real recognize real. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And, man, and there's so many cats. Even Deebo Samuel, that's one of my boys. You get what I'm saying? Like, real recognize real. You know what I mean? Like, they see it, we speak about it, we talk about it, we kumbaya about it. And so Deebo called me right now. He probably FaceTime just to chop it up. You know what I mean? He probably coming to the crib just to kick and hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember telling Deebo, and sometimes for me, like, we keep each other in line. But I told Deebo, I said, man, look, Kyle Shanahan gonna have to bring out that Brinks truck at some point for you.
Right.
I said, just keep doing what you're doing. This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Even when he was battling with the foot injury, he ain't had a year that he wanted to have. I was on the phone with him like, man, don't worry about it, man. I went through the same foot injury. Hey, you're gonna be able to shake back. Next year is gonna be your year. Now look the year that he had, an incredible year. Now Kyle Shanahan got to bring out that Brinks truck, like I said.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Pay him at 2 positions.
Yeah, you got to bring it out.
Pick
But
a
man,
position.
I'd be happy for my brothers, man, when I see them doing well. I'd be happy for anybody when I see them doing well, man.
Yeah. Let's go back to just a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure it's still fresh. One of the greatest games we ever saw. You guys, unfortunately, were unfortunately for you, on the wrong end of it. Like, how have you processed how close you guys came to moving on and maybe even being here?
You know, I processed it real quick because I've been in the league 12 years, and I've lost 2 Super Bowls. So I processed it really quick. But one thing that I do remember is after the game, we sitting around. It's me, Diggs, Josh Allen, Gabe Davis. We all sitting around and nobody's talking. It's just like right here, and everybody's kind of staring out into the way. And I said, you know what? We all over here thinking and feeling like this is a bad dream. We all ready to wake up, but the reality is that it's not happening. I said, but one thing it is, and I looked at Josh, I said, we just witnessed 2 of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL going at it. I said, man, it was awesome to see. And I said, it sucks, man, because at the end of the day, I feel like we was the best team in the world. You know what I mean? I feel like we supposed to do it, but the reality is that we got to go home.
Yeah.
But, man, it was, and I texted the group chat after. I said, man, one thing it is I appreciate all the wins, the losses, the ups and downs, but I always will cherish the laughter, dude, the laughs that we had, to be able to kick it and chill and laugh and joke, man, I'm always gonna appreciate that, man. And so that's one thing that, you know, I'm always gonna, you know, remember, you know. But as far as 13 seconds and what could have went right and what could have went wrong, I mean, we all know what could have went right and what could have went wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, we argue about this for a while after. I know y'all never used it as an excuse. Y'all never said, well,
OT.
The OT rule.
OT.
Yeah.
I mean, it just felt, it just didn't, it felt unfulfilling.
Yeah.
For it not to be some kind of way for
and that's
y'all
gonna,
offense to touch the
that's
ball.
going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, like, I just feel like maybe change the OT rules in the playoffs, right? Why not change it in the playoffs? You don't have to change the regular season, but in the playoffs, when everything is on the line, the whole season on the line comes down, give both teams the opportunity to go out and prove themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The same way.
The same way, like in the playoffs only. Like if you want to make it or change the rule completely, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously, you know, I don't know why they made it that way. I guess they don't want ties. I don't really know the logistics of it.
Right.
But I just feel like in the playoffs, with the whole world watching and everybody in it, both teams should get an opportunity to really go down and you know, get a chance to score and make the game interesting. But at the end of the day, they won the coin toss. Our defense was out there representing the Buffalo Bills and then get the job done. And the rules are the rules, you know.
Man, it's amazing you had that perspective on the same day to tell your boys, hey, man, it was a great moment, even though it sucks that we lost. You think is that the toughest? You played a long time. Is that the toughest loss you've ever had to deal with? What's the toughest one?
I mean, that I can't say I can't compare them like I've had the toughest, but I mean, you got to think Kansas City, the Super Bowl with the Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, we were winning by double digits with nine minutes left in that game.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers in 2010, when I was a rookie, I got hurt. I had like 2 catches for like 20 yards as a rookie in the first quarter, ran a curl route, broke my foot.
Yeah.
And then we ended up losing, you know what I mean? So definitely been some losses, but I mean, all losses is hard.
Yeah.
That's just, you know. I hate losing, man.
Yeah.
Don't we all? You know what I'm saying? But those are definitely some of the most memorable ones that's just like hurting. But, man, I feel like you make the playoffs and you walking off that field, you got expectation. I cried when I walked out the field. I had a couple tears. I was just like, man, like that hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, I'm a believing guy. It just wasn't our time. You know what I mean? Maybe it'd be Joe Burrow time, huh?
Maybe. I was going to say, you know, we talked about him and his ascension, but your guy, I mean, Josh Allen, to see where he was when he first came into the league and where he is now is stunning. What is it about him that just has allowed him to reach this level?
He played with some damn good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, Josh, man, he's special. He's special. We all know what he can do. Man, from a running standpoint, he clocking 20 miles an hour, like off scrambling drills. And he's shoving off defenders, 290-pound defenders. You know what I mean? Shoving them off like they little kids, like, get off me. And then after he's shoving them off, he coming and throwing a rocket dart, right? Like, he's just special, man. He's a special talent and very smart. Like, one of my best parts about Josh is really his personality, man. Like, he's a jokester. Like, he always would come in the huddle and go, football is fun. All right, here go the play right here. Da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And, like, he'll take a deck of cards, and he will be doing all type of tricks with a card.
Yeah.
Jokester, like, leaving a card in my locker, like, to Emmanuel, my #1 fan. Here, Josh Allen. Like, always playing jokes and always keeping it fun and always keeping it light. And so I feel like that's the best part about Josh. And then with these young cats coming in the league, these young quarterbacks, you got Mac Jones dancing in the end zone. You got, you know, Patrick Mahomes swagged out with his glasses dripped out in Gucci and Louis. And these young quarterbacks, man, they're making the game fun. You know what I mean? Like Joe Burrow wearing Cartier shades. I won't even peek at you. You know what I mean? Right after going to the Super Bowl, you got a second-year quarterback. You would think he would post, I'm going to the Super Bowl. I'm so appreciative. Thank you.
He just
Cartier glasses. I won't even peek at you.
Yeah. Kind of guy you want to play for.
Swag, man. These young cats got swag, man. I'm enjoying it.
Listen, man, we want to be respectful of your time, and you got books. I think when I look at you, I think of Melvin. I think of Ving Rhames from Baby Boy. I done seen it all and done it all to the fullest. I mean, you know, you'd have been with Pittsburgh and Denver and won the Super Bowl. You've been with San Francisco and the Saints and now the Bills. You played with great quarterbacks. You had the highest highs, low lows, and what have you. Not trying to put you out the pasture or anything like that. I'm just wondering, after a dozen years and seeing all you've seen and all you've done, like, how would you best describe your career journey?
Man, a blessing, man. A blessing. And, you know, I speak how I speak is because, man, I come from Belleville, Texas, small country town, probably about 4,000 people. They see me on this TV, they going crazy. They used to it by now, but at first they was like, what? Somebody from Belleville made it, right? Small country town, man. My people on Saturdays every day, they getting together in my grandma's garage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
About 20 people, they playing blues and they hanging out and doing what they do. They playing pool, they kicking it, they hanging. And it's been a blessing to do what I've done, to be on the teams that I've been, to play in the quarterbacks, playing the Super Bowls I've been. Man, it's been a blessing, and I'm so grateful and so humbled by it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I never thought in a million years that it would happen. And then I told my cousin that. I said, man, I never thought that I had a career that I'm having. He said, shoot, I did. And I said, he said, man, the way that you work and the way that you are and how you are. And for me, like, I was always so focused on how much work I had to put in, never about, like, I was going to be able to do. I just knew how much work I had to put in. Yeah. So it's been a blessing, man.
Well, listen, man, it's been fun watching you. Yeah, underrated end zone dancer as well. Yeah. People always talking about, like, you know, like the best celebrations, bro. You, especially in your younger days. Even still now, but it was always a treat to watch you get it done.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Fun to talk to you, man. Thank you so much. Manuel Sanders. Kicks World.
Yeah, it is. You're in trouble.
I'm in big trouble. I'm going to call you when I get in trouble.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.